I want you to imagine for a second that, Napoleon over here, one of the greatest war generals of all time, he goes ahead and he reads a book. Okay. He reads a book and he finds a little new war strategy in it. And he's like, wow, okay, this strategy actually seems really, really fucking good. And he goes to his army and he's like, boys, I found this new strategy and we're going to implement it and we're going to fucking take over Germany. All right, we're going to fuck them all up. We're going to do everything. And yeah, I read it in a book last night. I think it's really going to work for us. Let's fucking do it. Would you really say that's a smart decision? Would you genuinely look at that and be like, Napoleon, hats off to you, brother? No, you wouldn't. You would think he's a fucking retard, right? And apologies for my language, but that's what that's what most brand owners actually do, right? They see a new strategy on Twitter, they see a new strategy on Instagram, a new media buying strategy, a new landing page that's absolutely ripping it. And they just go in and they start changing their entire business based off their emotions rather than actually thinking through it. If you don't know me, my name's Gurnoor. I make these videos to make scaling to 8 figures easy for health and wellness e-commerce brands. And the reality is that you are your business, right? Your business sits on something that is called literally you, okay? This is your business. This is you. It runs on the basis of you actually critically thinking and you actually making the right decisions to make it grow. And the reality is that when you do actually just act on impulse like Napoleon did just then in that example, you make devastating, absolutely fucking devastating outcomes come to life. Your landing page might completely tank because you thought this new thing would work really well, or your ads might go to complete shit because you thought this new ad creative is ripping on Twitter, must work for me. And I want you to even imagine for a second, do you really think Chad, the founder of Gruns, or Chris, the founder of AG1, and Elon Musk, who we don't even need to actually mention what he's a founder of, right? Do you think any of these guys who are effectively, I think Chad's the only one here who's not a billionaire, I think these both are billionaires over here, do you think they would actually see something on Twitter and say, wow, let's fucking launch it, boys? Like kind of how Napoleon told his army, like, boys, read this thing, we're launching. Would they really do that? No, they fucking wouldn't, right? They just wouldn't. Because that's not how billionaires actually think. Now, the premise over here is that a lot of the time you get told to do more and think less. But the reality is that sometimes you do need to think more and do less. Sometimes you need to think more. And I want to introduce you something. I want to introduce you to something that really only billionaires know how to do, or people who are actually very successful in their field. I want to teach you the art of critical thinking. Now, this is something that my mentor actually taught me. In fact, this document is literally from his course that I personally took as well. And complete transparency, right, with that. And I don't want to just claim this entire thing, right? I did actually get it from him. His name is Charlie Morgan. You can search him up. And I want to explain to you the art of critical thinking, okay? The first step is obviously gathering information. You've already gathered the information if you're actually judging something, right? Just a piece of information that you want to analyze and evaluate. And this piece of information should feel some sort of critical to you where you see it, and criticality is basically determined by you see it and you're like, you know what, I think maybe that could help me, right? I think maybe that could help me. So it has a bit of criticality to it. And then you define the information, right? You go ahead and you want to get really, really clear on what the information is trying to tell you. I'll give you an example, okay? If I actually pull up my X account, hold on, this is going to be fun because I'm going to do this right here in front of you guys and literally prove my point. Okay? There's going to be someone telling you that something is absolutely ripping right now. Surely someone drop shipping these is making an absolute killing. Let's say, actually, no, this actually better. Let's say you saw this tweet by this guy named Ari, right? And you see this new landing page that is quietly printing 12K a day with this trend. You're like, oh wow, and you watch through this entire video, you get to the end and you're like, oh my god, wow, this is absolutely amazing, right? And obviously if you just blindly applied it without following this process that I'm going to run you through now, you may end up crashing your entire business. So you define the information, you get really clear and specific on exactly what the information is trying to tell you, argue, or make the point of. So, for example, in this guy over here is making the point of the fact that he's got a landing page over here. It's a company that is making quite a lot of money with this trend. Okay, so that is what he's trying to actually get across to us. You have to define the information. Then after that, you have to start understanding the objects inside the information. You have to understand that what is the information trying to tell you, and then you have to start removing yourself. Okay, so you need to take a third-party view on whatever is being presented, because sometimes what can happen is you can see this information and maybe you're a big fan of this guy named Ari. I hope you didn't hear that, right? You might be a big fan of this guy named Ari, and you might say that, you know what, I really do trust him, but you have to take a third-party observer view, okay? You have no participation in this information at all. Then you remove the identities, so you see that parts of this information as objects or relationships. So you don't see this as some sort of special formula or anything like that. You just see it as a landing page that you could analyze that is supposedly making some money, okay? You see it as an object, you remove the identity. Then you identify the objects. You know, what objects and things is the information actually talking about? What really are they? Define them, write them down if you need to, right? Sometimes what is helpful is perhaps you can actually do this. You can write down piece of information. So we've got, let's say this is info. That is poor handwriting. And then you can start to do these steps and do this little thought map where you might write that this info is trying to tell me that a landing page, right? We've got a landing page over here. I haven't got my drawing tool, so I can't really draw that well, but you get the point. That can really help. Then you identify the time sequence. When and in what order do these objects actually relate to each other? So this guy is supposedly actually claiming, because I haven't watched the video, supposedly claiming that when people go to the landing page, they convert and it's printing 12K a day right now. Okay, so you identify that, okay, people go to the landing page and then these objects relate to each other because these people buy because they see the landing page. Okay, that's what it's actually claiming, right? Then you remove the ambiguity, remove the use of multiple words and to describe the same object's relationships. Obviously, quietly printing, blah, blah, blah. This is all just bullshit. What he's trying to say is this store making 12K day. That's what he's trying to say, okay? And then you remove the emotions from it. You remove any emotions that you may have. You may feel a lot of excitement. You may feel fear. You may feel FOMO. You may feel something that may actually bias you to either like it, not like it, dislike it, whatever, right? So you want to remove all the emotions and don't factor any emotions, as my mentor has written over here, that you feel as objects or relationships, remove them. And finally, remove the loops, okay? If any info loops the same object flow multiple times, just remove the loop. What he's trying to say is this makes this happen, okay? It's really just if, then, when. If someone lands on this landing page, then they will convert when they read it, okay? Just for example. So then after that, you can actually start examining the information. Once you really have it sort of peeled, right? It's almost like an onion. You've got an onion and you're just slowly peeling back the layers. You're just slowly peeling back the layers. Then you start examining the information. You go one layer deeper. You go and you actually see what is the information trying to claim as true. What are they trying to claim as true? What is the premise? Why are they actually claiming this as true? You know, like what is the reason for this? Why? I mean, I'm sure if I watched the video, he would give some sort of reason to why this is being claimed as true. Then you come to the conclusion. So yeah, this is where you actually do that if then when thing. So what are they actually trying to actually say is true? So essentially, this page is making a lot of money because it is using this subtle technique that is really good. And conclusion is this page is using this technique and it's printing because it's using that technique, right? I hope that makes sense. You just come to that conclusion that that's what it's actually trying to say to you. And then you can actually judge the argument. You can determine if the argument stated with the information, if it's actually valid or if it's invalid based on all the conclusions that were given. And then you view it from all angles, okay? You look at it from different angles. You try to see from as many claims and premises and all these conclusions, right? You try to see it as different ways it could be interpreted by different parties. And then after that, you examine the motive. Okay. There's a couple of steps after this, but after that, it's basically just as simple as you sitting down and actually looking at the information and saying, okay, is this objectively true? You know, you can even ask yourself the 5 why questions. No, sorry, the 5 W questions. You can even ask who, what, when, where, why, and how. You know, how does this person benefit from me understanding this? Why do I think this is true? What is this information trying to tell me? You can ask yourself these many questions, and then you can actually really come to the core root of the actual information and determine if you can actually test this or not. And I know this seems like a huge, long process, and it shouldn't be this long, right? But eventually, after doing it many times, these guys probably go through this process, and this guy definitely goes through this process without even realizing it, because it becomes second nature, and you don't actually think of these things by themselves. You don't go inside your head and you're like, okay, let me just remove myself, let me remove identities, let me remove objects. No, it just comes to you, right? And you make this second nature. And really what this is you're just trying to get to the root of the information, and you're trying to really understand what they're trying to get you to believe, and then you claim that as true or not true. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the art of critical thinking. That is how you think through something. That is how you truly determine whether or not something is true or not, whether it's test worthy, whether it's absolutely ripping, as many may say. And you know what? I'll actually do this with you here. I think that'll add a bit of value to the video. I'll do this with you over here, and I'll show you a real example. Just give me a second. Okay, cool. So let me find someone over here on, let's see. Okay, brand AI UGC, ask me anything, 2 new heights. Okay. Okay, cool. So right here. Looks like a normal video, okay? And this guy is saying this is why AI creatives are about to dominate the health industry. 92K a month coming from a simple AI ad. Okay, cool. Pharmacy video. Everything about Singh screams credibility. Okay, cool. AI generated. Cool. Okay, so I just consumed this information, and what this guy is really trying to tell me, and I'll walk you through the step by step, is I've gotten the information. Okay, so let me put a tick next to it. I have gotten the information. I will define the information. The guy is really trying to tell me that inside the health industry, AI ads are going to absolutely print, and especially these ones that scream credibility. So the ones that show credibility, ads that show credibility made with AI, are absolutely dominating. Okay, cool. I've defined the information. Let me just remove myself. It's more of a mental thing. I have no participation in this, right? Sometimes just saying it is kind of helping me detach from it. I have no participation in this. Remove the identity. So I'm just going to see the information as objects. I have got the object of using AI. I've got the object of ads, okay? And that's all I really see. AI ads, and then I've also got credibility, okay? So I'll just write cred. There we go. Identify objects. I have done that, right? What are the objects that they're talking about? AI ads credibility. Identify relationships. So what they're saying is AI ads created with credibility actually make a lot of money. Okay, cool. Identify time sequence. When, in what order. I don't think this would really apply that much because I just basically did that there. And I'm sure you're starting to see how a lot of these just mold together. So you can really just make this a thinking process inside your head. You don't have to go through all of these steps every single time. But then remove the ambiguity. So remove the use of multiple words. I kind of just did this already. This is a whole lot of fluff, basically saying the fact that we've got AI ads that use credibility and they are really good, apparently. Okay. You remove the emotions. Now, I might have seen this and gone really excited. Obviously, you can probably tell from the sound of my voice that I'm not excited at all. So let me remove the emotion of being bored as well. I don't see any emotion in related to this. I don't feel any emotion. Okay, remove. Remove loops. So this information does have a lot of loops in it, and I've already removed the loops by basically cutting down to what this information actually is. So I'm sure you can see step 2, a lot of it was literally done bang like that. I didn't even mean to do 2.6, 2.7, 2.8, but I basically did them, right, without even thinking about it. So that's what you really get to. Then after that, examine the information. Let me just see, okay, they're claiming that AI ads using credibility will make a lot of money. Well, that's their reason because they're using credibility. Okay, cool. Did he actually give a real reason? Because all the trust signals are perfectly aligned, calm tone, confident hand, clean medical environment. Okay, so he's saying that because everything seems like it's supposed to, that is why we come to the conclusion of this actually printing 92K a month. Right. Then judge the argument. Let me determine if the argument in the video or the information, whatever it states, is valid or invalid. I would personally say this is valid. Not the fact that it has to be AI, but any ads showing real credibility, right? It's showing it's a health industry and it's a doctor. So I would say that definitely there is some criticality there. There's some critical information there. And then you view it from all angles. Okay. This is something that takes a little bit of time, right? I'm not going to do this right over here. Some examples you could probably look for is, let me look at it from a pessimistic point of view. Let me look at it from an optimistic point of view. Let me look at it from different points of view. Okay. And then after that, you can examine the motive. Why would this person who's telling me this information actually want me to believe this? Let me just go into his profile. I have no affiliation with this guy. Ecom guy scaling brands to 5 mil a month. What's get hooked? I really hope I don't fucking go to some porn site here. Okay. Stop wasting ad spend, start scaling profitably. AI creative tool to spy, swipe, and create highly profitable ads. So this guy's motive might just be to actually provide value to me. So then I want to use AI ads and potentially use this software that he's actually using. Okay. I'm not saying that's his motive, but it might be that. And then I just remove my biases and then I can actually judge the argument. AI ads using credibility are going to make me money. I think there's a level of criticality to that information. You don't want to bias yourself to actually saying that this is true, this is not true. You can take some element of truth out of it. I do believe that there would be some level of criticality to this, that if you have an AI ad that looks like a real doctor, that looks like a real whatever, person of credibility in a spot of credibility where they usually would be, so it doesn't look out of pocket, it would flow really well and it might actually help. But something that would even help even further is, what is he actually saying? The script over here is what matters. It doesn't really matter who the person is. It does matter who the person is, but it doesn't matter as much as the script itself, what he's saying. What he's saying is number one, who is saying it is number two, but you probably want to have both in check. So that's literally critical thinking. I literally just did it in front of you, and I really do hope this video was helpful. That's that. And by the way, if you are a health and wellness e-commerce brand owner watching this and you're doing over $100,000 a month and you're really struggling to scale to that $1 million a month mark, or even just scale above where you're currently capped, where you think you're capped and you can't for the life of you figure out how the hell you're going to scale to the next level, right? You're struggling with it, then you can probably click the first link in the description. There's no obligation to click it, but it's just a quick video explaining exactly how me and my team could potentially help you, if we could help you at all, right? And yeah, complete transparency, it is a funnel designed to get you to book in a call with me, so you may want to book in a call with me after watching that video, right? And yeah, if you want to click it, you can. If you're facing that problem, then you can click it. If you're not, then you don't have to, okay? And yeah, that's really it for this video. If you did like this video, then you can let YouTube know, and you can actually like this video so YouTube shows you more videos like these. If you have any suggestions for me, any questions, you can just comment them down below. I read every single comment, so you can just comment them down below and I will get back to you. And if you want to watch any more of my videos, there's a chance that you're never going to see me again, right? So if you did find this video valuable and you want to see more of my future videos, and yeah, you obviously just want to get more value from me, I post around 3 videos a week, so you can subscribe to the channel and it would mean a lot to me. It would tell me to keep producing videos like these and essentially keep providing value to you. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. I hope you have an absolutely blessed day ahead, and yeah, I'll talk to you all very soon.